Friends, hello! In this video, I want to tell you when to harvest onions, what to do with them afterward, and how to store them correctly. So first of all, when should you start harvesting them? Many people rely solely on the dates in the calendar, but this is incorrect because weather conditions vary each year. If you rely on the calendar dates instead of the onions themselves, you might harm your crop. This is because if you harvest onions too early, you won't get the full size of the yield. If you harvest onions too late, especially when the rains indeed arrive, those onions won't store well and will be of poor quality. It's now currently the middle of July, and my onions are fully ready. The best way to determine this is by inspecting our garden and noticing that the leaves on most of the onions are beginning to gradually dry out. On some of the onions, it is completely dried out. This signals that it's time to harvest them. It has already fully developed its flavor. Because the leaves are no longer green and are starting to turn yellow, the onion will not grow any further. And also, we still don't have any rain, which means the harvested onions will be clean, dry, and will store well for a long time. If you harvest after the rain, the onions will absorb moisture and won't store well. They will start to rot quickly. And also, if the onions are well ripened, they will be very easy to harvest, just like it happens for me. And also, because the onion tops are not fully dry, it's easy to pull them out. When they are fully dry, it will be hard to pull the onions out, and you'll need to use a shovel to dig them up. Under no circumstances should you hit the onions against each other to knock off the soil. You will harm the onions. They are very delicate and start to rot quickly. That's why we handle them very carefully. We pull them out and put them in a bucket. This year turned out to be very hot, so the onions didn't grow large. And this year, as I mentioned in previous videos about onions, I was growing regular varieties. But not Exhibition. Exhibition is the best onion. Tasty, sweet, stores well for a long time and grows huge. This is the harvest from previous years. This variety of onions should be of this size, but due to the severe drought, they are this small. Most of the onions grew this way. That's why next year I will only be growing Exhibition. It yields a better crop regardless of weather conditions. Also, to ensure the onions store well, do not water them for at least a week before you start harvesting. This will also affect its storage. Another rule is that onions should be harvested in the morning. Overnight, both the soil and the onions will cool down, making them firm and easier to pull out. Regarding storage, we spread all the harvested onions along with their tops on some kind of cloth or fabric. We lay them out not too tightly so that they can air out and dry properly. Under no circumstances should it be exposed to direct sunlight. However, the place where it will be stored should be dry and warm. Therefore, as an option, you can cover it with some fabric. And we wait until all the foliage on the onions dries out. This will take us from 1 to 2 weeks. Then we remove the tops, place the onions in boxes, and store them in a dry place. I store them in the attic. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. That's all from me. See you in the next video.